Childhood trauma shapes your entire life, your beliefs, your insecurities, everything. And it is passed down from parents in the mother's womb and everything else, the environment in which you were raised. And all of us parents are guilty of it. All of us. We pass down our traumas to our next of kin. And the best thing you can do is to help them break free of it and get them help. Get yourself help in whatever way you can. And in family systems, the older one tends to be more the stronger one, and the younger one tends to be more emotional. But trauma will cause either high empathy or can lead to narcissism. Both are rooted in insecurity and trauma, and the narcissist learns how to be completely jerk and deflect and never take responsibility for their own actions. They feel nothing for anybody but themselves. An empath feels everything for everybody, including themselves sometimes. But the empath has a harder time with the ego. They lose their ego. They shed it and realize that there never was really one. A lot of times an empath will become a people pleaser until they've had enough, and then you snap. And dealing with a narcissist, especially an extreme one, there's nothing you can do. The best thing you can do is either ignore them or just put it back on them and say, you know what, your perception of me is a projection of you, is how the other person is feeling a lot of times. And because both are insecure. And the narcissist really does not like an empath. They will do everything in their power to take an empath down in order to make themselves feel better, which is different than sticking up for yourself. And when they stonewall you right away and you've apologized and they refuse to take accountability, just know that that's them, not you. The second that an empath or a therapist or anybody is onto a narcissist, they will instantly be like, they'll want to run away because they know that you know what they're going through, that you felt for them, and they want them, and they know that they've lost control of you, that they're not, going to be able to abuse you and use you anymore. And they hate that. They really hate that. Living near one has been really, really difficult to deal with, aside from all the crap online and all this other stuff. And most people don't truly understand narcissistic personality disorder versus somebody with high empathy. There's different levels, and sometimes the empath can appear narcissistic or become more narcissistic because we're trying to stand up for ourselves in a world that keeps taking you down. And when you see somebody that's doing good, don't keep triggering them on purpose or gaslighting. Narcissists love to gaslight and place the blame on you and never, ever, ever take responsibility for themselves or apologize. Those are the most dangerous kinds of narcissists. Do not give them your empathy or anything, or your money, their trust, everything. Be very, very careful. Go slow with your new friendships or anything like that. And if they're giving you a sad story and instantly are like, just taking everything from you and not feeling bad for you, saying that they're going to support you, whether it be a friend or a partner, they won't be. And the second they prove that, try your best to deflect it right back on them. You know yourself. You know yourself and what you've been through. And you know what? You can't make them. But when you're still living with them and you can't get away, or they're a neighbor or a friend or something else, just you have to do what you can to protect yourself, and just keep saying, like, your perception of me is a reflection of you. Your perception of me is a projection of you. Because it's their own stuff. One of my friends this happened with recently, she knew I was in a low place and that I was wanting to take my own life and that I was missing my family. And then I was grieving the loss of my stepdad. And I'm living with somebody who did bad things to me. And he doesn't either, like, it doesn't sink in. He doesn't take no for an answer. And deflects it and says, you're dreaming, you're this, you're that. It's like, no. You know your truth. Don't change somebody else's truth. Work with them and understand why. Like, why do you feel this way? And what is it in you that's causing this pain, or what happened to you? But then don't drain that person, not pay them, and take their, my friend knew I was desperate to get away from there, so she said, can I borrow some money for charges, because her car payment was going and she doesn't want to work. She was delivering food and everything, but she didn't want to. She kept going to places to gamble and judging me and my partner for what we're doing. And then she just broke out the Bible and after, because she knew, she told me about her family and I met her family. And she's putting all of her burdens on everybody but herself and blaming everybody. And she's a con artist. She's a con artist. That's what it boils down to. She's a narcissist con artist. And they get really cruel. She's called me every name under the Bible. I mean, I used to get named like, little orphan Annie, and it bothered me when I was little, and now it's like she's vicious. So that's just one example of somebody who's extremely narcissistic and also part of MAGA, and she's getting worse. Like, it's terrible. And her, the baby in the family, she's just tearing apart and saying she's just rebelling against me and she's becoming a witch, and that's why. And she knew I knew what was up. So she's instantly like, you're Jezebel, you're this, you're that, and tearing me down the second she sees. And me and my partner were just doing I was helping him heal his back, and we were working together, and we were in a very vulnerable spot. I have a cold sore underneath my tongue. So she continues to come out and say all this stuff and take pictures and say, look what they're doing, because she owes me money and the landlord money, and she's got 30 cats in her place. And she was even like, oh, wow, okay, so I knew her cats, they all like me. And she steps on them and treats them terribly sometimes. And she's like, one of them got, I am not going to let you get hurt or killed. I'm going to protect you from the witch. And I'm like, I don't like roadkill. I get sad when, I try to save even that ladybug and stuff. I'm like, and she knew we had religious trauma because of me with what happened with my dad and everything, and doesn't mean I don't believe. I believe in all religions, that, there's a use for them all. But, psychologically, there's different, we are our own healers, we're supposed to be, things like that, and to help others and everything. But dealing with a narcissist, and if you're a highly empathetic person, you're not going to get anywhere unless they're willing to work with you. But when it's a friend or a family member or a partner, you got to get away from that relationship. They're never going to apologize to you, ever. They'll just keep bringing you down and burning you out. And sometimes you can't get away. And it's very, very difficult, because then, it turns into what she's doing. It's psychological abuse. It's psychological abuse and torture. And to say to somebody that she knew what happened to me, and she's like, you don't care about yourself. I'm like, honey, I literally care about everybody. When I love somebody, it doesn't go away. I still think about them all the time. I can't help it. I try to block it from my brain, and I can't. But I care. And I worry about people. It's like, I want to know how you're doing. And before I was just blissfully unaware of my, it's like I do it. It was like whatever, I didn't want to deal with it. But the car accident and everything else, I have my mind blown wide open. It just comes back and I can't stop it. When people are constantly gaslighting me, I'm just like, makes me want to go run away and give up. But I'm not gonna. I'm exhausted. Because I know politics, lived them. I know psychology. I've lived it. I've studied human nature since I was a kid, which is why people don't like me, too. They like me. Later on, they're like, oh, wait, help me. But nobody's paying me. I also, I understand groups, and it gets complicated sometimes, so I'm just going to have to make individual videos on them. But family dynamics, interpersonal dynamics, addictions, there's a lot. Philosophy, religion, there's a place for all of it. And when you know too much and feel like you're no. I was always insecure about a lot of things. And now it's like, I finally realized I'm not stupid. I'm actually a genius. But I'm emotional. A girl. But yeah, sometimes it brings out just by being me. And sometimes I lecture because I'm like standing up for myself, like I'm scolding the world, because people don't listen. And some people just have no heart. They really don't. And once you realize that, try your best to disengage and not let them get you. Just keep doing, which I'm guilty of, doing the affirmations. I'm strong. I'm intelligent. I'm caring. I'm loving. I make mistakes, but I learn from them. And I've also, I worked in construction and stuff, whatever. But the judgments are ridiculous. And a lot of people learn from me, but because they see this, and it baffles me, because I'm just like, I never paid attention to this. I never cared. I cared what I look like for myself and what people think, but don't fall in love with me. You can love me, and be respectful and stuff, but right now I'm not looking for marriage. I'm not looking for, that kind of stuff right now. I'm looking to start a business. And I keep getting pulled away because it's very difficult when you're an empath. But I have to remind myself constantly. Like yesterday, it was a great day. I had a stressful day, but it was fun. And then I got home, and it was just like, I had to shake away the whole world, and then go online to try to post stuff, and the notifications, comments. It was like, wow, some people are just truly, truly evil. And I'm guilty of a lot of things, but I always apologize. It's very difficult to manage sometimes. The emotional regulation. Watch things like Inside Out, listen to podcasts, I'm always learning and teaching and growing. And I support others' channels and everything else, but nobody gives back to me. Even people that I've loaned money to, they don't pay me back, or even give me stars or share my fundraisers, which all of that is like, money's the root of all evil. And I keep giving and donating my entire brain, my heart, my body, apparently, and my money, and donating and helping, and not saying it to brag. It's just like, These things are nice to do in the world. And when somebody's like legitimately doing all these things and trying to start a business, and you're not sharing things that you're liking about it, or leaving some stars, or spreading it, it bothers me, a lot, because I've given all of you my support, my teaching, my learning, and I appreciate all of you. But it makes it difficult when I care this much and I do this much, and nobody wants to share even my page, or give stars, or donate, or pay me, or hire me, do whatever, or I'm even looking to employ people. And yeah, I know I gotta step back again because of some really nasty comments that were just, and I gotta learn to block them still, like, and then it makes you not want to do it anymore. The second I start doing better and feeling confident and awesome about myself and life and my partner and everything else, it'll just shred you down. They don't like to see people succeed. I want everybody to succeed. I don't want anybody to die, take their lives, or do anything. So, just using myself as an example, I've always put everybody else first. That's on me. And I'm trying really hard. But I was like, I could deal with anybody else's life but my own. And now I am, and my conscience is wide open after the car accident and all the stuff that happened to me out here. And that I'm still going through because of my living situation. And we're working on that too. But it costs money. Everything I'm doing costs everything out of me. My knowledge, and yeah, I'm extremely intelligent. And I have emotions. And I care a lot about you and what people think about me, which I gotta stop letting haters get to me. I just was blissfully unaware and just like, wow, yeah, I'm smart. And I've created databases on my own, taught myself so many things on top of going to a university and acing master classes after not doing well growing up. I was always a hardcore rebel and stuff. And now working in government, all that stuff gets complicated. It's confusing in this crazy world. So when you see somebody that's been struggling, regain their confidence, don't tear them back down. And don't bring up stuff when you see that they're like a reason why you're supporting LGBTQ, or because you're sharing that you've been sexually abused and raped. Don't do that. Don't then blame the victim over and over and gaslight them for all those things. So back at you, especially Trump people or narcissists, like, if you want to know more about me, it's in my history on my page. I have folders set up for different categories of all these things, not just about me. Do some research. And everybody's like, snapping judgments and your anger. They never look back at anything I've done. Just, you're no. And then I have to keep reminding people about the rules of consent on top of everything else. It's like, you are messing with the wrong person. With some of that. It's cruel. It's psychological torture to come at somebody nonstop like that. Just because I'm a girl, I'm smart. I got really brave. Got to work on my confidence, which was good again. It has nothing to do about my sex life or what I look like. And LGBTQA, they're not trying to take away your rights. They already have the rights. Stop taking them away from them. Us. They're not out to hurt you. They've been severely traumatized. Can you imagine what it would be like to be a guy and hate the thing, your part? Probably because of what happened to you. And you just want it gone. Women go through it too. They want their boobs gone, whatever. Because it's like, if I didn't have these parts, it wouldn't happen.